Good evening, Spooky Fam, and welcome to Chamber of Horrors. I'm Mercy Desdemona, and tonight's pictures are Hell House 2 and 3. Before we get into them, just a kind reminder, if you are the weird kid grown weird adult and you like things true crime, horror, weird theories, and oddities, consider becoming a member of the Spooky Fam by clicking the subscribe button. And don't forget to play along to Viri's trick or trivia in this episode. Also, you guys voted in our Twitter poll to put the trick or trivia at the end of the episode, so that is what we shall do, so stay tuned and don't forget to play along. Let's get into it. Hell House 2 is actually a decent sequel. Now, normally I get a little worried when they get into sequels and make trilogies and stuff because they kind of forget the main idea. Like we said in the previous video, Hell House does a great job continuing the story and referencing back to important aspects of the first film. In Hell House 2, we are basically watching people be interviewed about the experiences that happened in Hell House 1. And we get in touch with this group of friends. One is a really serious investigative journalist who got an anonymous tip about some very strange evidence left in the Abaddon Hotel back when the case was open and they were researching what was going on. So she is really on board of getting in the hotel, quickly getting the evidence and putting it out there. I mean, why not? You know, that's her job. She's an investigative journalist. Of course, she takes with her a TV psychic, a gentleman who lost a friend to the hotel, and it just gets weird really fast. And also, her cameraman and her friends are joining her. And the thing about this one is you really need to pay attention to the characters and the voices, because at the end we're going to remain spoiler free, because I do encourage the Spooky Fam to check this out. You need to pay attention to the characters at the end. It kind of sets up a nice question for the third one. Now, this one is a little bit more calmer than the first one. This one's more about what's going on in the hotel, the mystery behind it, and how people are dealing with the aftermath of the events of part one. And I think they did it really well. It wasn't overly cheesy and it wasn't overly, um, you know, overdone, which it could easily be. I mean, come on, look at all those other found footage out there. So with this one, it is a great second installment. Hell House 3, I believe, is called Like a Fire. This one, I do have to say, has to be the cheesiest one out of the three, because they can't all be awesome. You know what I mean? So this one is definitely the cheesy one, and I say this because the visual effects at the end are kind of cheesy, but it makes up for the story writing alone. So it's completely worth the cheese fest at the end. In this one, we are following a multimillionaire who is kind of mysterious, and there's a journalist there, of course, and they're trying to put on a play, and they're finding out things that happened at the hotel, and things start going crazy again. But what's really great about this third installment is that we get some closure of the first characters from the first film, or at least I should say they do, which is really nice that they called back to the first one and basically closed up the full story. There was no more loose ends, so you can definitely tell that this was the final installment, which is really nice, because a lot of times you get movies that do this and they leave another cliffhanger and then they never make another film where they just leave it there, and that kind of pisses me off. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely worth a shot. I would highly recommend you binge watch all three if you're having one of those snowy days like we've been having, where we've been snowed in. Totally worth it. I've watched those films quite a few times, and I keep noticing more and more stuff that I may have missed the first time around, which is why I chose to do a more spoiler free review. So I hope you guys check that out. If you do, let me know in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts. Recommend something for us to review, a TV or show. That TV or show, TV show or movie. I apologize, it's been a long day. And also, don't forget, Spooky Babe calendars are in over on Spooky Babe Collaborative, which is a brand that myself and two other lovely ladies have started. it features a lot of small businesses and regular everyday people who are spookily inclined in really, really neat projects. So if you want to get yours, it's in our shop link at spookybabecollaborative.com, or you can go in the description box below and click that link and get yours today. And without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Trick or Trivia.
Hey, it's Rory Adams, and welcome back to Trick or Trivia. We're going to start off with the answers to last week's questions. And if you are just now tuning in, I would recommend referring back to last week's questions so you know what the hell we're talking about. If not, you feel free to just fast forward to this week's questions. But for those of us who are in the know, let's get started. Okay, number one was, who did Hitchcock claim to be the best victims? The answer was C, blondes. He said that blondes are, quote, like virgin snow that shows up the bloody footprints. Now, number two was, Psycho was the first American film to feature what? The answer was C, a toilet. It was also the first American film where we heard one flush. So technically, yes, you're right. Hitchcock did, in fact, lay the groundwork that led us to the battleship scene in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Number three was, what VIP treatment did the birds receive in The Birds? Answer was B, an avian hospital. The ASPCA ensured the health and safety, I thought that said society, of the birds on set and monitored the building of the crew's makeshift aviary. Now that's it for last week, so now let's move on to this week's questions.
Long time no see, it's Reverie Adams again with Trick or Trivia, where the treats are knowledge, and it's not really knowledge that's going to get you very far in life, but it's great conversation piece at dinner parties. And speaking of which, let's talk about cannibals. Alright, I'm not going to lie, my notes are down here. I cannot memorize this. Be easy on me, remember I'm new to this, so you're gonna see why. These are fairly in-depth questions. It's about to get advanced up in here. All right, so number one, what exotic meat did the Hannibal TV show's food stylist, Janice Poon, want to obtain to present on screen as human meat? Was it A, wild boar, B, antelope, C, camel, or D, giraffe? All right, now number two, Texas Chainsaw Massacre director Tobe Hooper based Leatherface off of someone he actually knew. Who was it, and what did they do to inspire this heinous character? A, was it a Home Depot employee who once helped Tobe pick out a chainsaw, and he gave way more information than needed about these tools with a rather unsettling smile. B, a doctor who skinned a cadaver in pre-med school and made the face into a Halloween mask. C, a local butcher shop manager who often came to work drunk. Tobe could hear him unloading his rage on employees in the back room. Or D, Tobe's landscaper. He saw him swinging his weed whacker outside the window one day and his imagination just ran wild. All right, number three. Images from the beginning of The Hills Have Eyes 2006 contain victims of Agent Orange from the Vietnam War. However, his Cannibal Mutants, the director had victims. For his Cannibal Mutants, the director had victims from other disasters in mind. Who were these mutants modeled after? Victims of A, Chernobyl and Hiroshima, B, Fukushima and the 3 Mile Island incident, C, the SL-1 accident and Windscale fire, or D, the Greifswald nuclear power plant incident and the Castle Bravo nuclear testing. All right, thank you for joining me. I think I'm going to have a bite to eat. And now I will leave you at Mercy's mercy. Cheers.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's Trick or Trivia, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's review. I did get word from our friends over at DBS that they have another film for us to check out, so that will be interesting and coming soon. We also have a fantastic announcement that on January 27th, Reveri and I are going live with our first Chamber of Horrors live. So we're going to be discussing films and TV, some music, and yes, we will be doing Trick or Trivia live, which will be really, really fun. I hope you guys join us. We don't have a time frame set yet, but please follow us on all the socials, Twitter especially. To keep posted and updated on our live stream time. We can't wait to see you, Spooky Fam. We will be streaming on YouTube for easy tuning in. And with that, I will see you next week, or maybe possibly sooner. We do have some bonus material we'll be uploading. I hope you like the new direction that the channel is going. We have great, great things coming. And stay spooky, stay weird, and also always salt your blinker. Bye.